The reason why groupthink and simply following the herd is extremely dangerous to your life ambitions, your dreams, your goals for the future, for becoming above average and just rising above the mediocrity of the masses. The reason why you don't want to listen to the average person, the average Joe, is because if you take their advice and you think the way they do, you'll essentially become them. And is that what you want? You have to ask yourself, when you're taking advice from somebody, is this person in a position that I would like to be in? Is this somebody that I would want to emulate? Somebody that I'd look to as a role model to direct my life and to change myself to kind of mimic their circumstance and who they are and their character traits and everything? And if the answer is no, then why the fuck are you taking their advice? If you're taking financial advice from somebody on the street talking to themselves, sitting in a cardboard box, obviously that's very fucking stupid. So why are you taking life advice from somebody who doesn't have the life that you want, who isn't happy with their life, who isn't thriving in their life, who, is financially not well off? The problem is people have these grand goals and future visions for their life, but they take advice to heart from the wrong people. And I've done this before in the past, where it's just like somebody's talking confidently or very matter-of-factly as though they fully believe what they're saying is true, but they are nowhere near what I want to be in the future. See, I love my parents and everything, but I wouldn't necessarily take my parents' advice for how to be successful in entrepreneurship or financially, or how to be successful with women, or how to be successful in the gym, or cure depression, or just become a productive person necessarily, because I know that they're not necessarily where they want to be in life, and they don't have those aspects of their lives handled. We have this bias towards people that are older than us, or people that appear to be authority figures, that we automatically should listen to them. If somebody acts confident enough in the way that they speak, then we'll take their advice to heart, in their tonality, their body language, their vocabulary. If they just hit the right buttons, we often overlook where they're at in life, and we'll just literally listen to their advice, even if it's the worst possible advice. And you got to realize that you kind of are where you are in life because you've taken advice, either good or bad, from either the right people or the wrong people. You've made decisions based on the feedback of maybe your friends. Maybe your friends are incredibly average. They have an average dating life, they have average finances, have an average job, and they're an average Joe all around. If that's the case, again, do you want to be them? If the answer is yes, and you want to be average, then take their advice. If the answer is no, then emulate somebody who is where you want to be. If you want to be successful financially, find the most well-read, smartest person, most wealthy person that you know, and listen to them and tune out the other voices. Truly understand, are they actually where I want to be? Do they actually have the results that I want? Or do they just talk big game? You literally are the average of the 5 people that you hang out with the most. But you have to be really selective of who's in your circle. You'll just naturally absorb people's opinions and their views on life just by having them around you and chilling with them regularly. You don't have to actively, consciously listen to their opinion to really absorb their views on the world and their lens through which they see the world. Just by chilling with them regularly, 4 times a week, once a month even, you're just gonna naturally adopt their views on life, the nature of reality and how the world works. If somebody's always a victim and they're just it's always something, it's always a fucking issue, I always get the short end of the stick, life's just hard and God has it out for me and whatever. Whether or not you try to stray from that viewpoint, you're just gonna naturally adopt that view, plain and simple. It's gonna seep into your subconscious like a fucking termite or a virus and just spread. And before you know it, years down the road, you're just gonna be toxic. You're going to be just like them, whether you like it or not. The only way around this is to not expose yourself to these people, to not be around them altogether, to just cut and discard. Sounds harsh, but fuck, people are not selective with their time. They're not selective with their ecosystem, their environmental ecosystem, if you will. of like the things that they're regularly exposed to. They're just all willy-nilly about who they chill with and who they allow into their life and who they give their free time to. Moments of their life that are very quickly fading that they will never get back. Are you fucking up in this regard? Are you chilling with people that are potheads, junkies, party too much, have no ambitions for the future, who are not fit, who are not well read, who are broke as fuck, who suck with women? Look at your friends, look at your immediate environment, and I will tell you your future. That is how this stuff works. You're better off having no friends, having nobody in your immediate circle, but fully controlling what you're exposed to, like the information you're exposed to, your ideas, your thoughts, which eventually lead into your actions. So you're better off being a lone wolf and just reading the right resources, watching the right videos, finding role models that you don't directly know, but maybe you look up to them and they're like an online figure or something. Hell, you're watching this video, so maybe you like what I have to say. You're literally better off having these role models that aren't in your immediate life and your immediate surroundings than you are having shitty people in your life rather than nobody. See, people are so scared of being alone and lonely, but you don't have to be lonely. You're never alone. You always have yourself and your mind, people that you can look up to, authority figures that are actually walking the walk and talking the talk. You're never alone in this life. Your feelings of aloneness are false. You're being lied to. There's no reason to feel alone because you have so many resources, so many books to read. You can fucking have friends through the authors that you love. Like those can be your friends, so to speak. And then you can slowly build your life up to the point where you meet people who are actually living the life that you want. We're convinced that the worst thing in the world is to be alone, but sometimes it's the best thing for your personal growth is to actually be alone, to think clearly, and to just disregard all of the shitty opinions that are just clouding your judgment and distracting you so that you can finally think clearly and choose what you want to absorb. The moments in which I was most alone in life tended to be the most beneficial for my growth. You got to think about that and change how you see things, how you see being alone. Your current opinion on your friends, who's in your life, who are you listening to, really analyze how they're living and their philosophy.